Hi, everyone. How's life? I guess we are.
So,
Yeah.
let's recap, shall we?
I don't know. I'm unsure. Should we?
No.
Yes.
Okay. So,
It's not all bad. In fact, no one is in jail for once at the start of this.
Woohoo! There is nobody in jail. I feel very good about this. This sounds amazing. I'm keen to keep this not jail thing going.
uh-huh.
Seeing as how we've split almost entirely,
Yeah.
Brian, do you want to tell us what Luck has been up to?
Staying alive. Staying alive. That's so easy.
A picture in misery.
No.
Lucky is currently sweeping the streets, dejected, wounded, unnoticeable.
Oh my god, my heart is breaking.
Yes, this is by design.
This
He
is not okay.
He has put on his sad other people face.
Oh, dude, no.
Lucky has just been released under mysterious circumstances. It looks like some sort of attempt to out himself as an agent of a proscribed terrorist organization. So he is fairly certain that he doesn't want to, how do we say, infect other people of his network. Because it is pretty sure that people are following him. Just
We are never going to meet up, are we? We are never going to meet up in this iteration.
not when this kind of shit happens. He's altered his plans for asshole. Sorry, I need to be more clear. Strides Out Harmonious. So instead of trying to turn Strides Out Harmonious, because this is funded out of Strides Out Harmonious's pockets, the opportunity for leverage is to discredit him and then break his company. So the lie he has planned now is that Strides Out Harmonious is making up the conspiracy, and because he can't take the stress, he's even forging evidence. It's all him, and the more that he claims that it's not him, the more people will go, "Oh, you're forging that evidence."
Wow.
So gaslits are nice and high. It'd be really nice to have some backup in terms of locked stacks in it. So Lucky will be trying to leave messages at dead drops, basically saying what I just said. That he's probably compromised. That the guard are doing some sort of deep game, and they're probably onto him. And this is what he has planned. Do what you can to assist. Leave some dead drops in location 2, Cypher 3.
Okay.
In next midnight, and he'll pick them up so that he knows what to do to assist you.
So at this point, do we think that the guard are actually... So the guard, we're pretty sure the guard actually knows who you are, right? We're pretty sure...
I've been made.
You have been made as a member of a terrorist organization. Yet the guard is completely fine with letting you back out in the street, despite the fact that he knows that you're trying to take down the office.
So the way I'm seeing it is, I'm a nobody, right? They want to roll up my cell. So it doesn't matter that I've been let free. Emphasis on the quotes.
That See, it's just not my take on it.
That's fine, but this is what Lucky's putting in his dead drop, right? He reads it as subversion, as a way of getting him to compromise you.
It's also worth pointing out that it's not the god. It's Captain Noel Lacoste.
Yeah, that's exactly right. It's one very specific person.
But I do not have sufficient evidence to claim that she is doing the unlikely thing. And extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And the Occam's razor is that she's hanging me out to dry to see who I touch.
Why not both? Anyway.
Exactly. Like, sure, there are more unlikely hypotheses, but I certainly can't operate under the assumption that she's willing to go terrorist.
You say that like
I'm just not clear.
That's fine. You have a very different relationship to her.
I know.
Lucky only knows this one interaction, and this one interaction is ringing the "I've been made" alarm.
Yes.
What Lucky does, I mean, Lucky's certainly not going to be infiltrating anytime soon. What organizational questions will help you the most? As in, I can ask 3 questions of an organization by infiltrating it.
Well, let's do the recaps first.
Oh, yes, of course. Yes. Because this is half the party. It's not really that we've split the party. Splitting the party implies that there was a party to begin with that had any sort of measurable coherency.
I mean, there was twice. But the third character, Brian, has learned something.
I really have. And look, I'm on episode 3. Coincidence?
So, Kat, what has Fiona been up to? Mostly by way of recap, but also bearing in mind what will you pick as your topic of obsessive research this session.
Well, that's just it. What is my topic of research for this game? I am not clear. Well, I am not clear at all.
Do the recap, and then I have some suggestions.
All right. So I have successfully pawned off the Manticore for a decent chunk of change and some ongoing, which is really lovely. I'm feeling pretty good about this. Still get to control the bar, and I still get to do. I'm good. Because as we all know, the type of stress that I'm most likely to acquire is definitely silver stress. That's where I needed to clear it. So that was probably the most significant thing that I did last game.
Really?
I reckon so.
Not helping someone else not helping another one of the players in the quarter advance her own agenda without knowing what it was?
I don't necessarily know that I have actually helped her advance her agenda yet. So far, we've agreed on a duel.
So
we don't know how that's going to go yet.
Can we relate?
All right, so let's go back. So I'm still in charge of duels, and I'm still very much in charge of the bar, and I'm definitely in charge of the dubstep that's coming out of the Manticore. But everything else is well and truly out of my hands at this point, which I'm extremely happy about because I do not have the time to be dealing with that nonsense. So,
or the fucks to give.
I have no fucks to give in that direction. Definitely no fucks. Oh God, what's her name? I need to start writing down their names.
Why do you think I have notes?
I know.
Whose name? Hestra's name?
Hestra.
Yes.
Hestra has approached us saying that she really, really wants to have a duel. It's not for her specifically, but she's going to give the prize for said duel. And the prize is that whoever wins said duel is going to be able to make her next mask, which is a pretty significant thing to happen. And so we've actually got a lineup of people outside the Manticore at the moment because we kind of went through this kind of like first in, best dressed. We'll only pick 4 competitors, and it's going to be the first 4 competitors in the line on the day. And Yeah.
We are definitely
not going to police the line, but we will definitely provide food for you to buy, but we will not be guarding this line. We don't have any security in place. Whoever ends up in the first four
is purely luck.
It's purely luck, like first in best dressed. If you get there, then obviously you're going to be the person, right?
There was one more thing of significance that happened last session, and it is that Fiona has monumentally pissed off Frozen Sparrow Shatters, the fixer of Messias.
I may have also pissed off sparrows. That's very true. Oh my god, I just got a raid.
Right. So we're on a knife edge. Right?
Yes, we are definitely on a knife edge.
So the thing that we've been working towards partially is neutering the paladins of the solar.
You are on a knife edge. The knife edge is on the precipice. The precipice is on fire.
The precipice is definitely, everything's on fire. That's right. The whole of Red Row is on fire. All right, so we've got the line going on. Red Row is on fire. I don't actually know what's
there have been demonic attacks in the Solar Basilica.
Oh my god, really?
Yeah. That was two episodes ago.
Yes. Oh, of course, yes.
Well,
yes.
Which is a secret thing that you found out in the stacks, which no one knows. The Red Row thing, on the other hand, so the newspapers have taken to calling it the Dread Row. The active fighting more or less has stopped. On the other hand, the smell of smoke has somehow reached Silver Quarter.
Oh my god.
Because it's smoldering.
Really? Are they? Wow.
Yep, the entire 10 or so layers just permeated.
This is just not okay. This is absolutely not okay. How dare they flood the Silver Quarter with their stench just because they want to have a fire burn through?
Now you're a drow.
I am not okay with this.
Of note, how are the papers taking the previous lie?
Which was?
Again, noted down because that Lay Deacon strides out Harmonious is responsible for the flare-up in Red Row.
Oh, God.
So they're careful not to just blame him for it outright, because that would be suicidal. But he is mentioned in unfavorable light in many of the op-eds, and in a kind of offhanded way that suggests that, this is the accepted story.
Excellent. So we've already broken his credibility.
Oh yeah, he's not doing great.
So in that case, I'm wondering if I need to continue attacking his credibility, or if I can start attacking his... Because what he's actually doing here is opening up casinos in the temples. And attacking his credibility again, has his shouting about a conspiracy gained any traction?
Not yet. Well, he's only started last night, right? And I think for the time being, he's not so much shouting it to everyone as just taking it out on people around him.
Yeah, right.
All right. In that case, this is the perfect time to attack there.
Cool. Is there any way that I can actually point you in his direction?
Well, if we can both be attacking his structure, like if you can use your Vermissian Sage abilities to attack his finances, or Black Rose Withers, his accountant, that would... We need to keep the pressure on.
Yes.
Also, we need to make sure that Hestra's game plan doesn't hurt us.
No, I can't imagine it would. Not at the moment. Whatever her game plan is, I think I don't think she wants to hurt me, honestly. I think we've got a good relationship.
Kat, it's not about you.
They're all my friends, okay? Lay off my friends. I know we're trying to kill them all, but lay off my friends. This is how this works.
Are you happy, citizen?
Well, so the duel is to happen in the evening.
Yeah.
Yes.
There is, outside the Manticore, there is a small crowd, and you're noticing that it's mostly made up of drow, indentured drow at that you
really?
figure,
Okay.
the
Disposable.
actual, mask designer Elfie are sending their servants to, stand in line for them, of course.
Right.
There's a few Elfie here and there, but
I'm sure we put a rule in about that.
No, you didn't mention it, Kat.
I mean, feel free to make demands now, but this is what's happening at the moment.
Yeah, okay, we'll roll with it. No, that's fine. We can work with this. What should my my temporary buff be?
The question is, do you want to focus more on that duel? Or do you want to focus... Well, first off, what was it last time? Because it can't be that.
Oh, guardhouse politics.
Really? I thought that was last bit one.
Vermisian politics. Because we're all about politics in this game.
Right, yes. Last time was Vermisian Sage politics.
Oh, Vermisian Sage politics.
So,
sorry, I forgot to update my sheet. Yeah.
Therefore, the question becomes, do you want to pay more attention to the duel? Or do you want to pay more attention to us going after Strides Out Harmonious?
Oh.
Because paying attention to the duel means that you can get a sense of what her game plan is. Or we can push.
The thing is, I think I've got enough going on that I can actually pay pretty good attention to the duel and still get everything out of that we actually need to. I don't feel like I've got enough sight on what's happening on Strides Out Harmonious to be particularly useful yet. So maybe we can actually focus on that.
All right.
And I can just use my natural skills to get me through the duel.
That sounds like a plan.
Especially now that I actually have high society.
See, I make good suggestions.
I thought I made good suggestions too. It just happened to nearly get you killed. Like, I don't understand.
I think we operationalized the term good differently.
Look, it was working, I guess. It was definitely
up to the point when it wasn't.
Right up until it fell off a cliff and then exploded and then caught everything else around it on fire. Yes. But notice you were not dead and you were not in prison. So honestly, I am not sure that you can blame me for this one right now.
So we're at a fairly decent outcome.
Yes. Okay, so Strides Out Harmonious. What can I actually do in the stacks? I reckon I can actually try and find out where his money is coming from and where his money is buried.
And then
should I go for some sort of economics, like the what's going to help you when I do this drop off for you is telling you where the money trail leads. Is that going to be helpful?
No, because I can't directly attack it. What if you can divorce some of his accounts from his control? As in, is there a way that you can attack paperwork directly? Or are we talking it's in a vault?
I don't think you can attack paperwork through the Vermisian.
No.
So what? All right, remind me what you can do.
Okay, so I've got back door. I can find a vault no matter where I am in the Spire, and look. I've got my actual vault, which I can just go into the vault and research through the back door. Obsessive research.
Yep.
You already know. Lock stacks. You already know. Dynastic memory, which you again already know. Which I think I'm going to cast on myself again, so I can start leveling that up. Dead drop, which is my cachet and my pocket guide.
Okay.
So what about the one where I can actually change? Make a take things out of memory. Did we decide not to do that one?
Isn't that locked stacks?
Lock stacks. Oh, suppress a single fact or rumor. Yes.
So
Sorry.
therefore, let's think about what facts you can suppress. Alternatively,
Well, what's the rumor that you're going to be spreading this game?
right now I'm thinking that I need to proactively attack his reputation again, so that he is making up the
God. I just realized that you can use lock stacks kind of offensively, because I think it's meant to be this thing of, oh, we've made too much noise there, so let's cancel out that.
Oh, totally. But what I want to do is I want to put out the opposite thing and suppress any knowledge of that to support Brian's rumor mongering. That's how I want to use
So, for instance, you could do something like, Lady can, you in the lock stacks, you suppress any information of Lady can be sighted anywhere outside, or like just and then you spread rumors that he's secluded himself, that he's plotting and desperate and
no one actually saw him at the bakery this morning.
Yeah, exactly.
He totally ate there, just no one saw him.
Just make him appear to be incredibly dodgy.
So therefore, what fact do you want to suppress regarding he is making up the conspiracy because he can't take the stress and he's even forging evidence? Maybe that he was at the boathouse? The boating club?
Yeah, because...
Can I suppress the fact that you were at the boating club?
Well, the you at the boating club is being flayed right about this time in the Solar Basilica. Because remember, Lucky has...
No.
So let's actually
because it means that he might actually be able to backtrack a little bit on that and salvage some of this. Because if he forgets that whole thing happened, maybe Brian can make his advance again. Maybe we can do a rerun.
I don't think it's that, like, we're talking about attacking the common knowledge rather than people's memory. So I'm thinking that in terms of the common knowledge, even though someone's getting flayed, if we make it that he was never at the boathouse, then it seems like really flimsy, tramped up evidence, especially because the person getting flayed is going to be screaming his innocence.
Yes.
So let's start there.
Yes, okay. All right. If you think that's going to be the most helpful way.
Well, because I don't think yours isn't a once per session, is it?
That's a really good question. How often can I do this? You have access to the lock stacks. Knowledge is mine +1. Information. It doesn't say anything about once per session.
Great. Then our objective is I'll spread the credibility lie. You attack his credibility. Then we'll iterate with my institutional questions and more suppressing. So you'll be the one taking the offensive by suppressing facts, and I want to figure out the targets for you to suppress.
Sounds perfect. So what's my knack going to be? My that I can put in and out.
I mean, we what about the stacks?
Okay, yeah, no, that's pretty narrow. So
Like,
that fits.
If our plan for your active side is attacking him through the stacks.
Knack for the stack?
Yeah.
Is that what we're going to call it? Knack for the stacks?
Yep.
All right. And therefore, I'll just get another dice every time we do this.
Precisely.
Anytime I'm using stacks. So I'm just going to hammer stacks this game, basically. That's not going to give me
any stress whatsoever. Nope.
None whatsoever.
No. Well, speaking of stress,
it's not going to be me this time.
I think I should. You're both doing pretty okay with regards to total, effective stress. That said, Lucky could certainly use a few more coins in his purse, whereas Fiona, if she didn't have so many free mind slots, would be suffering.
So in that case,
the good thing
what's your refresh?
Is that I will actually, my refresh is I've got to find out a secret. So if I find some secret knowledge here, I'm surely through the lock stacks at this point and through our research. So what's my obsessive? My obsessive research is a lock stacks.
No, is the stacks.
Which is suppressing information.
Well, no, your obsessive research is just the stacks. It's the environment of the stacks. One of the activities you'll do there is suppressing information, but you'll also be using your pocket guide. Like, there's lots of stuff there.
Yeah. Back for the stacks. I could do everything in the stacks. All right. I'm surely going to be able to find something down there that's going to give me some secret knowledge to refresh some of this mind shit. Okay, let's do this.
Okay.
So where are we going to start then? I guess I start my day in the vault, really, then, don't I?
Okay. So you're leaving, what's her face? Elisana, to just prepare for the duel in the evening. And you sleep out of the Manticore to go to the vault.
Yep. So the vault's part of the stacks, right?
The stacks are in the vault. Yes.
In the vault. Yeah. Okay.
Which is non-Euclideanly related to the Spire.
Yes. Exactly right. Okay. All right. So the first thing I'm going to roll for is to see if I can find out what his financial structure actually looks like, just so we have some idea of where we should be trying to attack.
With reference towards Monsieur Black Rose Withers.
Okay, so how do you do that?
I walk up to the vault and I say, "Behold, vault! Give me all information that you have."
So that sounds like pocket guide?
An accurate map of the Vermilion.
Vermilion.
I'm hungry, okay? I can ask the GM a question, and if I succeed, they will tell me where the answer lies in the vault.
Right, yeah. So that will... If your question is, where can I find the financial information of Black Rose Withers and Lady Deacon? Yeah? Certainly in the pocket guide.
Perfect. That is definitely in the pocket guide.
It's like an evil Wikipedia.
It's definitely guarded by this monster that's going to come and eat your face, but it's definitely in the guide.
Yeah.
All right, so what am I rolling?
What does it say?
Investigate plus occult.
Investigate. Occult. And my knack.
Correct.
4 dice. 10!
Sure. It's 4 dice. 4 dice will get you there. Okay. Yeah, it points you to an entire wing that is very rarely used because it is accounting books. And it is
Annals of the Great
meticulously
Accountants.
filed and misfiled old revisions of accounting books.
Oh, wow.
And it's very hard to tell between fraud, negligence, actual accounting books, and parallel realities, and fraud and parallel realities.
And yet somehow I managed to because I roll a 10.
Well, you found the exact place where this information is, and then you'll need to do actual investigative work. Like,
oh,
there is
God, are you serious?
5 shelves of Black Rose Withers accounting books. Enjoy.
Oh, my God. This is going to be amazing. All right, so now I get to roll.
Probably the, rather investigate and high society. Because really you're going through finances, not through occult bullshit.
And I'm still in the stacks, right? So I can still use my 4 dice.
Do you have high society?
Yeah.
Yes, we totally have high society.
We
now.
have arranged for that.
Fixed this.
Yeah.
This was a problem, and we have solved the problem.
You're not sure. Fine.
Oh, look at that.
Okay, so my objective today is to not roll dice. Got it.
Just let me roll, Brian. It's safer that way.
Yeah.
Okay, well,
so much
it
safer.
takes several hours, but you are reasonably certain you found a few actual This Universe books. And so what was it that you actually wanted to know?
Basically, like where his money is, the sorts of things that he actually keeps his money in, who is actually primary control of those, and where the weak spot in his money chain is.
So he has a fortune, but most of it is tied up in real estate, in investments. Those temples that he's opening, that's
How much of it was in the Red Row?
Pretty much none, because Red Row doesn't have temples to Father Sama.
Sorry, I could just imagine everything going up in flames.
That's
He's having a really, really bad time is really what I'm saying.
With that 10, sure, easily half of those investments are actually funneled through the church, because of course they are. And if the church were to press matters, they could just take possession relatively easily.
Wow.
Of course, no one expects that to happen because he's a lay deacon. He is a celebrated figure within the church.
All right, so we basically need to demolish his reputation with the church so hard that the church is actually going to start shutting down his investments.
That's one option.
Okay. Can we find out who his main accountant for all of this is?
We know this. Black Rose Withers.
Yep.
Oh, sorry. Okay, so that was actually his accountant. I guess we take the time to find out more about him then.
Right. Personal information about Black Rose Withers? Different part of the world entirely.
Okay, let's roll it.
Okay. Sure. Do make another investigate plus occult roll for Pocket Guide, and then you won't need to investigate again. Like just basic information about him is.
Well, why don't you use the accounts of Black Rose Withers, because that's where you are right now. Go into his personal accounts rather than right. So use where you're at right now to launch the investigation rather than Pocket Guide.
Okay.
Just because every roll risks stress.
That's true.
So if you can get a sense.
Well, okay. So the bit of information that you already have, I guess, with the books that you found, is that Black Rose Withers sure is a competent accountant and probably skimming some of it.
Oh, really?
Well, but also is a devout worshipper of Father Sama. Because there are massive donations in Black Rose Withers' name, written off as tax-free and all that.
Cat, I know what you need to suppress.
Right. So do you want to give me a very specific statement to suppress while I'm down here then?
It'd be a shame if no one remembered Black Rose Withers' donations. It'd be even more of a shame if Lay Deacon Strides-Art Harmonious wasn't paying up to the church.
Ooh.
You have the books right here, and you have your mystical whiteout fluid.
Yep. Like, if people were to actually go looking for records, they will find them, but it will fade from general knowledge. The Lay Deacon, no, never seen him around here.
Yeah, he's definitely not philanthropist at all. Okay.
Well, specifically, it's not that he's not a philanthropist. It's that he's not giving the church their cut.
Their due, absolutely.
And many things are forgivable.
But not paying the church. The church gets a bit nasty about that. All right, done. Rolling 4 dice. Who can roll 3 10s in a row? Yeah.
Okay, so really, I'm not rolling this session.
You are not rolling this session. You are banned, Brian. You are absolutely banned.
Okay.
What is this cat?
It's Giant Frog. I'm just saying the election wasn't called, and so now I get to roll 3 10s in a row. Like that's that's how that works.
So you're suppressing announcements of election. You're
Okay. So as best to the best of your knowledge, you do a marvelous job, and everyone will just forget that Stardust Harmonious actually ever gave money back to the church, which makes all of his casinos/temples look much more like casinos, really.
Ooh.
So
Painful.
now I'm going to introduce my institutional falsehood.
Okay.
So what are you actually doing? Are you back into his temple?
Because I have an identity inside his temple that isn't related to the priest identity that I stole.
Yep.
I'm just going to use that. So I'm not actually using my institutional falsehood, my one of the staff seamlessly blend yet, because this is an established identity and I've done it in the past. But I will do a very slow and light infiltration back into the temples.
Sure.
There we go.
At which point I will emplace my institutional falsehood that he is making up conspiracies because he can't take the stress, and he's even forging evidence.
Okay. Is there a roll involved, or is it just a thing that you do? Cool.
I'm being very careful.
You are not rolling today.
So let's go over the lies that I've introduced. That the paladins are secretly in the pay of the council. That was lie 1.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So that there should be real cracks starting to show there.
Mm-hmm.
Lie 2 is that Lay Deacon is responsible for the flare-up in Red Row. So again, forcing him to spend political power, suppressing that. And lie 3, he's making up conspiracies because he can't take the stress. He's even forging evidence.
Now, to be clear, all of those are spread mostly through this one temple.
Correct. So
they don't just percolate up into the Solar Basilica, but it's enough to make this place buzz like a hive.
Yes. And it means that these are all juicy rumors. These juicy rumors are going to be shared, take on lives of their own, so on and so forth.
Absolutely.
And it's starting to get pretty hard to disprove them.
Yes. Also worth pointing out that, you've had glimpses at Lay Deacon having something of a double life, and you have no idea what the double life actually is.
Yeah.
But everyone is suspicious of him having something, and because he has something to hide, it is just going to be hell.
Yeah, like he cannot reliably carry on a double life because now everyone's.
He's getting the eye. The
side
eye is
eye.
coming.
Yeah. But I'm not going to be using my 3 questions yet. I'm just going to be taking the pulse of the. Actually, you know what? No. I'm going to be working to spread these rumors to the other temples.
Wow.
Okay.
So, like, using this persona, an established persona, I'm going to be, and I'm a nothing, but it's like, didn't you hear that he's denying any and all claims that?
Right, to people coming from other temples to do whatever.
And then I'll start actually moving into those other temples and making sure
would
that.
you like to make a deceive plus religion roll?
Yes.
You have those skills. I just want to see how you fail on 4 dice. 3. There you go. It's another 10.
10 life.
So you know Poe's story about the guillotine? Every time we roll, it's just whoosh, swoosh, swoosh.
Okay.
I'm very impressed. I'm super impressed, Brian.
And
sorry, one second. Because just rolling back a bit to Fiona's investigations in the stacks, again, because so many critical successes, I feel like I should give you something a bit on top of it. Namely that Lady Deacon sure is also doing something extra with his money. It wouldn't really make sense for him to be siphoning it all because it's his money to begin with. But he's making some strange investments that just
don't necessarily make sense.
Yeah, like they don't go into the church, they go to temples, not to the paladins. Well, also other thing I guess worth mentioning is that a lot of his wealth comes from supplying weapons to the paladins.
So it's a parasitic.
Oh, yeah. Anyway, that was just a thing.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. So, not rumor, but I guess news will reach Lucky because he's in the Silver Quarter, unlike some people. That there is to be a celebration at the house.
Really?
Yeah, there's a huge festival that they're organizing tonight.
It's coincidentally at the same time slot as the duel.
Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh yes.
Oh, come on.
It is the Way of Lights. There will be fireworks firing all over the place. There will be cheap, like 50% off drinks, etc., etc.
But they're still not going to be as good as mine. So this guy is definitely going down. We have to destroy him.
Yeah, but you're making a drink in like 2 minutes.
Sometimes quantity has a quality all its own.
Anyway.
Oh, really?
This
is true for Soviet Russia and true for alcohol.
Really? True for Soviet Russia and alcohol. Very nice. All right.
And yeah, the entire Silver Quarter is now very, very excited about that. The way, like, some people are going to go to the Manticore to see yet another duel. That sounded exciting. But by and large, everyone's going to go to the house.
So we've just lost our audience.
Yep.
Potentially. Well, they made a move.
What are you going to do, Kat?
Well, what's Hestra going to do? She's going to get the shits. I'm actually quite surprised that our audience is so fully full, given that they've realised how amazing my duel's been in the past. Do they really, really, really want to miss it up?
Oh, look, you will undoubtedly get people.
But it's not going to be the packed house.
How does one bring people back to the Manticore from some other loser's party?
Well, so I want to actually say that you don't know about this yet because you're still doing research in the stacks.
All right, fine.
Attention is a resource.
It is. So, Lucky.
What are you going to do about it, Lucky? Exactly right.
If anything.
So, Kat, what has Fiona actually told Lucky about her plans?
Well, I presume you know about the Manticore, and I presume you know about the dueling, just because.
So I know that you have a 30% stake in the Manticore, and that you're organizing duels. Okay.
Yeah. Specifically to try and actually bring Lacosta on side, and also subvert the law here, because duels were not actually legal until I started allowing them to happen and managed to convince the guard that they were actually okay.
So basically, Lucky gets the note mentioning La Costra and starts noping out.
Yeah.
Because the other thing that he's trying to do during the day is spot tails.
Of course.
Speaking of, would you like to make a, I guess, resist plus high society roll?
Not really.
Not really?
But I somehow don't think that was a
Yeah, resist is generally not a skill that you're
Here
asked.
we go again.
Oh, God.
Okay, 1 moment as I roll to see if you get fallout. As you might. You sure do.
Oh, God. Of course you do.
It will be fine.
Everything is awesome.
Okay. So we will go with the watched fallout. At any point from now until the end of the next, at any point now from now until the end of the next session, the GM can decide that someone tailing you watches you perform an action. They can tell you which action if they wish. This will come back to haunt you before long.
If they wish.
So you are indeed being tailed, but you can't even tell if it's your paranoia or not.
Yeah. Okay. Then I'm going to be using my bond, my street level bond, with the Mecab Express courier service.
Okay.
For them to promote the Manticore. Basically, it's a place for really good drinks and music.
Right.
Yes! That's right, it is.
Note the comma.
There was no pause. There was no pause whatsoever. The music is amazing.
The adjective applies to the drinks. And for them to tell other couriers, so that at least we have some sort of audience.
Okay. Yeah, that sounds perfectly reasonable. I'll roll the stress with them. Oof, 5 stress.
It's gonna be okay, Brian. It's gonna be okay.
But so just as a reminder with drones, I roll at the end of the session to see if you get fallout with them, because you have an opportunity to try and do a favor for them first.
Yes. So, Cat still in the stacks?
She will be coming out sometime soon, but it's not like you really communicate with her.
No, I leave notes in
the places.
One of the less secure dead drops. And then I make a completely innocent mark on the wall. The innocent mark on the wall says, "Trapped. Don't pick it up." It's a random scuff mark. No one will notice.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I'm not paranoid.
Well, let us see what Fiona is up to.
Yeah.
As she comes back out from the stacks, and there's still a few hours left until evening. And you will immediately be told by fuming Elisana that Miss Yeso is trying to undermine their performance in the evening.
Oh, I need to look up locked stacks.
So, what you going to do about it, if anything? There's still a crowd of people outside who want to be the ones designing masks for Kestra.
That's a really good question. What do I want to do about this? See, immediately 2 things went through my head. One was about a complete redesign of the dance night to actually make it something new, despite the fact that my duel to the death with 4 people of poison spinning wheels sounded better than his stupid party anyway. And my second instinct was to send MacGyver to the other party to blow the whole bloody thing up. So I'm not sure which way we should be going at this point. Do I take the safe route, or do I take the route that, it's just going to literally escalate things stupidly quickly?
Brian has made a suggestion in the chat. That is an interesting suggestion. But I think that will not really work because someone is in fact trying to make
so
this
it is dedicated
public.
advertising.
And none of the information that we have found so far is going to be able to work fast enough for tonight, right?
Probably. Well, I mean, you found information against Lady Egan.
Maybe have a conversation with your sage partner.
Yes.
It is a partnership after all.
It is a partnership after all. All right. Yep. All right. I'll go talk to the sage.
Or with Hestra. She's the one interested in the performance. But yeah.
But I also risk that she's just going to flip and go somewhere else with her duel if she thinks that we're not going to get enough coverage.
Oh yes.
I want to be able to prove to her that we can actually do this. So I go talk to my sage partner and lay out what's happened.
Okay. Well, I mean, she knows about Monsieur So's gambit, although probably not that you pissed off his underling. And well, so you find her in the middle of planning, redecorating.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. She's taking notes. She's consulting with a couple of people.
All right. Well, I bring her off to the side when she's got a moment, and I explain. Well, as you may have heard, we have a small performance on tonight from somebody who always put their nose in where it's not wanted or warranted, and somehow wants to start a fight with us. Now, personally, I think that our duel is still going to hold its own weight, but people are being taken away from us by this stupid lights thing. And I was wondering if you could maybe help me create some problems with his event so that more people would come to us. I don't
want to pick a fight with Monsieur So. That sounds...
He picked this fight a long time ago. And he will keep coming for the Manticore.
Take the blows.
We'll take the blows.
Look, we can also make 50% off on James. That's fine. But we can't compete with the house. We're not trying to compete with the house. We're trying to do something niche, something that they're not covering.
Well, that's true. But if you don't attend to this soon, we're not going to have a Manticore.
I mean, what do you suggest?
Well, this is just it. I'm not entirely sure. How do we actually deal with this? One way we could do it is just kind of,
well, the way
his stuff.
The way I see it, we need to make sure that Hestra stays with us.
Well, yes, and she's only going to do that if we have a crowd.
A relationship, yes. So go rile up interest, up the stakes somehow.
Okay, that I can do. Pretty good at upping the stakes.
I mean, the stakes are already 3 people will die on the stage tonight, so I'm not sure.
Yes, but now we're going to start talking about how that actually sort of happens, and slow details about how the is actually going to progress start coming out in a very sort of timed offense during the afternoon. So lots and lots of people are actually talking about our event and how amazing it's going to be.
Okay. Do you want to make a compel plus high society roll if you spend the next couple hours just doing that, getting people to excited about it or instructing underlings to, of course, succeed.
I hate you, Cat.
Everyone has succeeded on their rolls.
Except me. Again.
You don't hate me. I'm furthering the cause. How could you possibly hate me? Come on.
Oh, let me count the ways.
Okay, well, you get fairly enthusiastic response. People, you are not going to get the entire full house, you think, but you will get people who are actually interested in duels and mask design. And you're offering this unique thing that no one else has. You think the evening will go well.
Excellent. I'm very happy.
So,
now,
Kat,
yeah, sorry, yep.
Go on.
There you go.
No, you go.
No, you. I was just very on the side going to ask about dynastic memory and how often I should be casting that in order to be able to get the longer ups. Is that something that I can...
It lasts for a scene. So
it's always per scene?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, that's right.
It activates the power in your blood.
Okay, boom, easy. Thank you, that's all I wanted. Go, Brian.
So I was thinking, it'd be awful if people not in the house found spiders in their beer.
Absolutely. Spider Army is definitely going to be on.
Indeed.
But we have to wait to that moment in order to be able to kick it off. So.
Okay. Well, does anyone want to do something before the duels?
Okay, so yes, I want to do some favors for the courier service.
Okay. All right, so tell me about this courier service.
So the Meecab Express is a courier service that Lucky found employment in after he matriculated from the university that he was living in. The courier service is comprised of some of his former tribe mates. So, like, for example, Joe Seeks the Paper, a extremely down on their luck elf here from Lucky's tribe, the product of some particularly lucky infighting coupled with Bring Your Child to Work Day. And then we have YT, because of course we have a courier named YT. We have to.
Absolutely.
And Svine. And so these folk are... Think of bike couriers. They go throughout the Spire delivering messages, doing courier-y thing.
Okay, well, so I guess if you just walk up to one of them and ask what they could use help with, they'll tell you that it's going to be horrible tonight. There's going to be crowds on the streets. There's going to be fireworks exploding, because it's not the first time this festival has happened, though it is a bit sudden that it was announced. But there's going to be fireworks exploding under the roof and just falling on the roofs. Because the way they normally do things when there are crowds is they actually run across the roofs. And so there will be just fire falling on them. So that's their main concern right now. I'm not sure what you're going to do about it, if anything, but...
I know. I'll make sure that there are caches of supplies stationed on strategic roofs across the Silver. So that
Excellent.
There's drinks and bandages, sand and drinks
Okay.
All these things are definitely necessary.
Yeah, we'd like to make our...
I'm going to go for... It'll be either compel or steal.
Yeah. Yeah, either way you have, and I guess the question is, do you steal these things, or do you just pay for them out of your pocket? Because it also determines what kind of stress you'll get.
I'm going to pay for them. I think I'm still being watched.
Yep.
So this is very innocuous, which is what I'm going.
Right, you're just doing a favor for your friends.
Yeah, doing a favor for my friends.
Nah.
That's a success, of course.
Is it bad that I have a flinch response when clicking?
Every time you try and help your friends, everything goes wrong. Though, right? Like this is
I just need to learn to sell them up through.
The solution is not to have friends. Clearly.
Correct.
Okay. Well, you can't do too much before you find emptiness in your purse, and you really should find some sort of money soon.
Yep.
But sure, you reduce the stress with, like you do them assault. Just on the main route.
Yeah. So this is actually very fortuitous. So tonight I'm going to be practicing some of my sticky fingers. Drunk, fireworks, crowds. It is the perfect time to lift a few purses. Again, changing into disposable identity. I have many.
Yes.
And so Lucky will be lifting purses tonight.
Okay. Well, so you're not in any way participating in the Manticore's festivities?
Oh.
Okay.
No. He's going to stay the hell out of Dodge because he knows the cost is probably going to be there, but also because, then he can sow more discord amongst everywhere else, which is kind of what we actually want and need right now. So, discord for the win.
Okay. Well, so let us, I guess, do the duel. Well, don't think we'll pay too much attention to it, but... so the 4 finalists, unless you want to play favorites, if you just go in with the 4 people who end up at the front of the line when you open the doors.
Absolutely. But they have to be the actual person at that point. It can't be the drow. Like, it actually has to be the person.
You did not actually demand that.
No, we did demand that the people on stage had to be the actual... Yes, I did. We said that the people on stage had to be the people.
No, I didn't hear that.
Instead of doing it, and then decided...
I said in the line they were allowed to switch out for their hunky, extremely... They're part of the actual tailoring group.
But you expect the actual designers to...
the designers have to be on stage. That's the whole point of this duel. The only people that are actually really allowed to participate in this stuff are people from that caste. And also, this is actually a pretty high stakes kind of thing. Like, that was the whole point.
Well, it is high stakes because they'll die.
And they don't want that.
Exactly, but they also want the chance. That was the whole thing. That they actually get the chance to actually design and create the next mask, right? Hestra's next mask. They have to be the one on stage.
Well, so when you make their demand, half the queue just leaves.
Good.
That
was the point. Oh, whatever. I don't care.
Your queue size is greater than 4, so you're fine.
Yeah.
All right, that's fine.
Okay.
If I don't think Hestra is actually worth it, then that's fine.
So are you doing little gifts of emetics for a fee?
Not necessarily. No,
okay.
Not really.
Yeah.
No. Like, we've been working the line the way that we would always work the line. So, but no, there's no security, no particular things. This is got to be pure chance, and this is what I've always done. Like, everybody else might try and fuck with this game, but I am not going to fuck with my own duels, and I will try and make sure that they are as level as possible, because otherwise they're not a proper duel, and Rakosta's going to be very upset with me because she thinks that I'm playing favorites. It's all over.
So you are going for Stoltz's blessing on this?
Always.
All right. So here are the 4 finalists that will be competing. The first one is a Undyne Elfia called Rime-Covered Smile. Just very old. And also, Undyne surgery is something that Elfia sometimes undergo that basically turns them into an undead.
Nice.
It drains their blood and replaces it with more
alchemical ingredients.
Yeah.
And things.
So she wears, closed like clothing, full mask. There's faint smell of preserving balm just emanating from her.
Very nice.
So that's one. Number 2 is a young and terrified Elfia who says that who is the younger brother of Thin Hands Scratching, which is a famous mask designer. Well, that's her younger brother.
Okay.
Who was like, up until there was a requirement, it would have been just a Drow servant.
Sure, but remember, if he wins, he actually gets to make this mask.
Oh, yeah. It's still Thin Hands. Still the dynasty.
Still the dynasty, but that person, the actual person who wins, all right? So, yes.
Yeah, you suspect that the mask design will still belong to the matriarch, but, whatever. It's their problem. Third is a young drow called Ephane. She's got that hungry artist look in her eyes, and she occasionally just wipes blood off her cheek where she was scratched in a roll.
Now this is more like it. This is what I wanted to see.
And the fourth is a bit of a surprise for everyone else, because it is a man standing there kind of impassively. He's like bulky, and in fact you recognize him as one of the quarters.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, he has a full hat and everything. He's just standing there.
Wants to get into mask design. All right, this is fine.
Oh no!
I realized something.
Oh no! Oh no!
This is fine.
Oh no! Oh no!
So, shall we start the duel?
Yeah. So, the Manticore is packed, not quite as packed as when Sir Beryl dueled, what's his face? That was just
Locke walks on light.
Oh, it? Yeah. But, yeah, there's a ton of people, and
death number 1. That was so good.
Death number 2, thank you.
What?
This was Sir Beryl.
Sir Beryl was death number 2.
Yeah, so Beryl was 2.
Yes, you just said death number 1.
Oh, who was number 1?
Monsieur Riquet.
Oh, of course, Riquet. His stuffed corpse is still standing behind. I thought that's the duel that you were talking about. The one with the battleships. Yeah, sorry. Because the other duel okay.
Yes, I know I'm eminently forgettable.
No, I'm just saying that there's been so many duels and so many deaths at this point that they're all just kind of blurring a little bit. It's all fine.
So,
hey, look, you are not involved with this duel. Okay,
four contestants will go on a stage, and Hestra will sit on a makeshift throne in the middle, and they will present to her and to the audience the initial design they have. The idea, I guess, being that whoever is the winner will work with Hestra on refining it, and
yes,
she agrees to wear that mask.
Yes,
at least for some time. So the designs, Rime-Covered Smile has this full face, traditional, just no features exposed mask that makes Hester visibly grown. Because in this stuck-up voice, Ryan, that this is a proper mask for a proper lady, and you will wear it when I win. She seems confused about the whole idea of this being a random chance duel. She thinks that things will just go her way because they have always gone her way.
Yeah, absolutely.
But she's there. She has her design. Okay. So, Efame, the Hungry Drow artist, has brought the mask that she's made. It is this beautiful stained glass kind of butterfly thing that weightlessly fits over the face and refracts lights, and like it just pretty
It's
amazing.
Yep.
Hestra is neutral about it. There are, beautiful masks out there. She can afford them. Thin hands scratching produces a mask that is straight out of the book of masks, and I'll
pop it open if you can.
This thing, has it popped up?
Nope.
Press the show the players button. No,
it's not in the handouts.
Okay, save changes, show to players now.
Hey,
there we go.
Wow.
This thing, so it is somewhat in fact similar to what Hestra is wearing. This very real, and you can see half the face. It's scandalous. And finally, Timothy, the
why the hell is he even on my stage, dude? Yeah, him.
the strangely hatted, because nothing could ever be under that hat. Do go on.
He presents a mask that makes everyone kind of scratch their heads. It's just a drawing in design, which it looks reasonably simple and traditional. I guess what kind of stands out about like half the face is open, so it's not entire Snowfest. What makes it stand out is there are crystals here at the temples, and also it kind of covers hair and leaves space at the back of the head.
Crystals.
Really?
Shocking.
Still totally fine with this. Just this is not going to blow our cover at all. It's fine.
No.
Got it.
Now, do you, in fact, do anything to influence the outcome?
No. God, no.
So tell me about the competition.
Okay, so we have 4 spinning wheels set up, okay? Each of them have, like, 4 beautiful, needle. Like, they're old-fashioned, but they are in perfect working order, and anyone who is actually serious about their craft will actually know how to use and work one of these. Now, what they need to do effectively is to make like a cloth version of the outline of what they want their masks to actually look like, and they need to do that on stage, and they've actually got this wheel to actually assist them with that sewing and that spinning. So what I will do to start off the whole thing, and may even actually get Hester to do it if she's actually interested, is there's 4 vials, and those 4 vials will have liquid in them, and 3 of those things will be poison, and 1 of those things will not actually be anything. And her job, or my job, depending on if she wants to do this or not, is to actually paint the needles of each of these different things with that particular thing. So as they use it, whatever the hell this is obviously goes through the cloth, and 3 people will die and 1 person will and whoever is still standing by the end of this little art goes,
well, so
win.
Why don't we say, and then Hestra will decide between the remaining masks which ones she favors.
That's exactly right.
But they must be complete.
But they must be complete. Absolutely.
Okay. Well, I guess I will just roll a d4. So, I'll put in the chat the names and numbers.
Yep.
And then I'll roll so that it's all fair and parent. Yeah. There we go. And then we go.
Timothy. I just love that his name is Timothy.
Oh, please, please, let's send Hester to the intelligence.
So do you have favorites in this race?
Do I have favorites in this race? I'd love your frame to win, actually.
Okay. You have a feeling that, actually, there's not so much a feeling. Hester is quite open about her preferences, that, she would prefer thin hand scratching or E-Fame.
Yeah.
And the other, she would probably accept Timothy, and she would grow a lot if Rhyme Covered Smile was to win. But
there you go. There you go.
Okay.
So describe the deaths on stage, because we have 3 different peoples dying spectacularly from contact poison.
Well, so about halfway through the thing, and you're fairly certain the first time, there's a crowd of people. They're holding their breath, watching people make masks on stage. It doesn't happen. Ye-Fame starts choking and just coughs up blood and look just over her hands and the mask and looks at it. And then she pulls out a knife and lunges at... I'm not even sure who. She's half blinded at this point. But yeah, she'll lunge at Hestrom.
Oh, God. Oh, no.
Well, you're sitting right next to her. You are the conductor of this performance.
Oh, sorry. This is not all postscript. I can actually help influence what goes on here. Well, I push Hester the fuck out of the way. Because she's not going to get done in by some crazy lady with a knife. But also, she's sort of dying. So, she's probably not going to make it to me, really. But, dead weight's pretty heavy still. So,
Would you like to make a resist plus high society roll?
Not really.
Well, I mean, it's just...
I hate you, Kat. I hate you so much. I hate you so much.
Okay. Yeah, you push Hester out of the way and trip up Ye-Fame. And then Hester's knight companions are on her, and she's just dragged off. So the other 3 contestants actually go on for a while, and at some point, Timothy just kind of slumps and slides off the chair.
Oh, Tim.
Not making a sound. And rhyme-covered smile and thin hand scratching just keep going. And you begin to worry. Does your poison actually work on Undying? Because, half of their vital organs have been removed.
Yeah.
It could be a bit awkward.
It could be a bit awkward.
And then... So how horribly nasty is this poison?
Pretty nasty.
It'd be horrible if it was just bad enough for a rime-covered smile to not be able to, like, her hands start shaking, and she misses a stitch and then has to go back, misses another stitch and has to go back, and like,
well, her nails are literally falling off.
Like she's not in any danger of dying, but it's worse. She won't be able to complete the mask on stage. She can't compete.
You know what? Sure. Yeah. So you think you see seeping through her gown in a few spots, just spots of blood, where you think she's been stitched back together after the surgery. But yeah, she's just shaking fingers, and she keeps trying to do it and just unravel it. And then she just starts yelling at people. Just, this is a disgrace and a setup, and how dare you?
Mm-hmm.
And just is gradually escorted off the stage, which leaves the young man, thin hands scratching, standing there with his mask, looking kind of terrified and just blood
terrified or
stage.
happy? Like, is he not really happy?
Oh, he's relieved, but also, what just happened?
He absolutely knew what he was in for. Let's not pretend that he didn't know what he was in for.
Okay, so Hestra will accept the prophet mask, just the prototype thing, and bow to him very slightly, and raise it above her head and show to everyone, and there will be applause, and there will be a lot of money changing hands. And of course, the Manticore was facilitating the bets. So,
God damn it, why can't my refresh be silver? Seriously, we're doing so well with the money making. Oh, God.
Yeah, you have no problems with your silver at all. Okay, well, this was a success. Hestra is, like, a few hours later, once everything has quieted down a bit, Hestra will speak to you in the back room.
Excellent.
Saying that, well...
Hi, Hestra. Did you like my duel?
I did. It was everything I could have hoped for.
Wonderful.
Thank you.
Wonderful.
I suspect this will be the end of our cooperation. Because for what I have planned next, I will just need a grander stage. You understand?
My heart is broken. I'm very sorry to hear this. I am very sorry to hear this. Are you sure that we could not create a grander stage for you?
Well, if you could, I would happily continue this.
Well, given that you know how well we organize anyway, even if you had another stage in mind, perhaps you could allow us the planning? I make quite a good emissary.
Perhaps that could be arranged, yes. Perhaps you could be my personal duel planner. Well then, I have just one more duel to organize. So you better start preparing, because it will be the show of a lifetime.
That sounds like something I am deeply interested in. Who are the participants?
Oh, it will... Now that we've established the duels, and now that we've established that abiding by the results of the duels is important.
Absolutely.
I want to have a duel between me and my brother for the spot on the council.
Ah, very good. Very good.
It will need to be spectacular.
And well
whether
planned.
I win or whether I lose, people will be talking about me for decades.
This is true.
And in what you suspect is a very rare moment of honesty that's not, just plotting 10 steps ahead, she says it is probably the 50% is probably the best shot at that spot that I will have.
Wow. So she likes being honest. I like that. That's good.
So I'm looking up a place where you can probably hold it, because we'll need to go to some effort, but it certainly won't.
That's all right. We've got a lot of silver, so we can basically hire out a place. This is going to be fine.
So carry on while I try to figure out what that.
Well, no. Because Brian. Yeah. Let's jump to you. Like we did the duel.
Yes.
Let's go back to Lucky. You said that you were going to be picking some pockets for the money to replenish your own.
Yep.
Why don't you do that? Sneak plus high society. Or steal, sorry, plus high society. Yep. There you go. Success at a cost.
Yeah. And that's going to be shadow easy.
It is absolutely going to be shadow, but I want you to roll a d6 to see how much stress you replenish. Nice. So, you are doing much better.
Yay!
And if at one point someone grabs you by the hand in the crowd as you're trying to pull out their purse, but you manage to slip away.
Yeah.
As for Kat's question, you know what? You roll a d6 as well, because you now know what Hestra's actual plan is. And we'll reduce your stress by that amount. And both of you are actually doing reasonably well, stress-wise. So, Lucky is somewhere in the vicinity of the house, where there's crowds and fireworks exploding, maybe 20 meters in the air, which is, where the lair begins.
Yeah.
And yes, very drunk people just stumbling about, perfect ground for pickpocketing.
Yeah.
And there's all sorts of local attractions and events happening as well, because all the nearby establishments, half of which belong to CSO anyway, are throwing their doors. And one of these establishments is the temple to Father Summer.
Yep.
Where you, as you're passing by, you're hearing Lady Deacon's voice echoing just out of the door as he's leading the faith in a sermon before they can get to, spend their money at the gambling tables.
Okay.
Do you do something about this?
So how lucky are you feeling today, Brian?
Oh, well, we already know that answer. Look, I've got a mission that I'm currently on, and I don't want to really break that mission, but just I want to get a sense of the crowd. So how's his crowd?
How is your crowd doing today?
Okay. Well, so the Lady Deacon himself is slightly unhinged, say.
Yeah.
Which I mean is hard to separate from just religious fervor, I guess.
Yeah.
But yeah, he is going a bit too strongly on the faithless and the the filth that corrupts the city, and how only sun's light will bring any semblance of fairness and civilization to it, which is a bit of a downer for them to gamble.
Well, and I imagine that it rings a little bit false to the crowd.
Oh yes. There are occasional hidden smirks.
Yeah, good.
But it's not quite at the stage where people are pointing and laughing.
No, but like this is my plan is proceeding according to plan. The last thing I want to do is expose myself.
Yes, agreed.
Okay. Well, I mean, you could potentially try and rile up the crowd.
I could, yes.
Lady can.
That is certainly an option.
Very good.
I am aware of this option. Thank you. Very kind.
Okay. Well, so he completes his sermon, and people sigh a collective sigh of relief and leave.
They hate it so much. Why are they there?
Because he's got a decent house.
So what is your plan then?
So my plan is try to get my stress to the point where I'm not in danger of exploding.
You're not in danger of exploding anymore.
Okay. Do I still have that sense of being followed?
You've several times changed masks and gone into the crowds.
Yeah.
So, I mean, probably not right now.
Probably not.
Although, it depends on how good they are.
What he's saying is, do you want to risk the role?
Well, it's more that you've earned the watched fallout.
Yeah.
At some point, you will be observed.
Yeah. At some point, I will have had been observed. Yes.
You're like light.
Yes. Quantum luck. Yes. So I surreptitiously check the dead drops. Has Fiona communicated anything to?
Has Fiona?
The accounting stuff was the only stuff that I was really sort of passing through.
Okay. In that case, I will spend some time infiltrating according to... Well, no, I'll infiltrate in the normal fashion, but I will use my 3 question for one of the staff.
Okay.
Ooh.
So my first question is, where are the deeds to these temples kept?
Okay, so just as a note, it takes an hour to ask a question.
Yeah.
So you're like spending the entire night in this temple.
Yep.
Well, so you probably want to know the specific deeds thing, but sure, there is a office with paperwork.
All right, so I know where the office of important paperwork is.
Yeah, it's the Black Rose with its office.
My second question is, what have people seen of Lay Deacon? Basically, this is riffing on that he's doing something extra with his money. So, what are the rumors of what he up to?
Right, you're just making sure that your slow boil is doing something.
No, I'm working on Fiona's information that he's engaged in a side game, and I want to see what people know of his side game.
Right. So,
since
I
eyes
think
are
at
on
the
him.
moment,
Yeah.
yes. Well, I think at the moment the what's the word? The well is well and truly poisoned.
Yeah.
By all the new rumors.
So therefore, that's not a good question to ask.
No. You can
Okay.
ask something else instead.
Okay, what is his schedule of events, right? So what is his plan to make sure his casinos are successful?
To make sure his casinos are sorry?
Successful. I want to get inside his OODA loop for actually promoting his business.
Well, I mean, casinos, once they're properly opened, they mostly run themselves. Like, there's someone in charge, but he has a couple more under construction. As for schedule itself, he wasn't really supposed to be giving a talk here today. Like, you're clearly getting to him.
Okay, but he's got more temples under construction. Fantastic.
Yep. He doesn't take a lot of time in day-to-day running.
Yep.
And
what's the word on Black Rose Withers?
Be more specific.
So, what does the organization currently think of Black Rose Withers, especially that his donations are no longer known?
Well, now his devoutness has been called into question, I guess. Sure, there are starting to be rumors that Black Rose Withers is essentially there to cook the books for Lady Deacon.
Which we knew, but that's fine.
Well, but it's becoming a thing that people are talking about.
Yeah. Fantastic. So those are my 3 questions, and that certainly takes me to the small hours, where I find a very out of the way corner curl out.
Yes. TM. Well, you're totally not going to get observed at all.
Yep. Over to you, Kat.
What? Oh, okay.
Shove. You have the spotlight. It hurts.
It does hurt. Oh. It really hurts. All right. So I guess I'm just gonna have a holding pattern with Hestra and have a think about the sorts of duels that I can do.
Well,
and this is actually going to take a little bit of time. I'd rather do the setup for that duel next session.
Your objective shouldn't be for duel. You need to find location first.
Yeah. Look, I know, but I need to clink over this a little bit in my head, because the kind of duel it's going to be is going to depend on what kind of stage setup we actually need, which will mean it will actually determine where we end up having this.
Yeah. I'm
convinced that wherever I decide we actually need to have this, I will be able to get my way in there one way or another. I'm convinced, because I've rolled like 5 10s this game, that this is obviously going to continue forever, and I'm just going to take Kestra's attitude to life and just hopefully just kind of like roll my way through this.
So I've been looking
She's turning into a bit of my spirit animal, really.
So I've been looking over the map. In the Solar Basilica in the northeast, is that an amphitheater or a graveyard? Nope. Is this an amphitheater or a graveyard?
This thing.
Yes.
That's a wonderful question. College of Divine Magic, Anti-Tree.
Because I haven't been able to find anything about it in the book.
It probably is an amphitheater, yes.
So the upper thing.
Look at where my ping is.
Oh, right, that thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So if you can book that amphitheater.
But it's not in our quarter.
Who cares?
I care.
In our quarter, you're fighting against house, and you need to book the house. So in our quarter, there's really no question. This is you book the house. outside of our quarter.
Just sidestepping the competition entirely. Yeah, that could surprise him.
Remember, this is a competition for the council. So this is something that is not the Silver Quarter. This is something that is Spire-wide.
That's true. That's true. All right. It's going to have to be a spectacular duel.
Okay.
Oh, I know exactly how I'm going to run this.
That took a while. All right.
Oh, no, sorry. If there, I know exactly. That's going to be amazing.
So
yeah, okay.
So therefore, the first thing we need to do is and by we I mean you, need to do is to secure the amphitheater.
Yes, amongst other things. This is going to be amazing. I have no idea how I'm going to get Hestra's brother to agree to this, but we're just going to have to roll with it. No one is ever going to have seen a duel like this before.
So do you leave any messages for Lucky?
I can tell Lucky that the plans with Hestra are definitely working forward, that I will... do you actually want information on Alcostra? Should I be looking for that?
Well, no. So specifically, I'm looking for things you need Lucky to do to facilitate your plans.
Because my plans is basically just subvert the law in the Silver Quarter until everything falls down, and also just completely take down the lay deacon because I'm done with him. Even if that just means that we poison his soup, I actually don't care anymore. The guy needs to go.
Well, no, he must. No, he must not go.
Well, he must not go.
We must
take his.
That's what I'm working on, right? And so next episode, I'm going to start well, not next episode. So I'm going to start working a wedge between him and his accountant.
Yes, definitely. So we can control the funding.
And so I'm going to basically start trying to subvert the accountant rather than him.
Him directly, yeah, because we can't approach him at the moment.
So that's the plan for the next session. That
on Lucky's half, yes.
Yeah, Lucky's doing that, and Fiona is doing the final duel for Hestra, or organizing it at least.
Yes. So who are the other people that we actually need to be worried about here?
It's
the Lay Deacon we've got under control-ish, not really.
Well, Lay Deacon we are actively attacking.
Yes. Hestra may or may not survive this next round, so we'll just see what happens. If she does, she's going to love me anyway, so I've got an ear regardless.
On the council. So that's amazing.
On the council. So that's pretty impressive.
Locke walks on light is very dead.
So it's both. Yes, Locke is very dead. Is, I think, pointing out that while Hestra may like you, very little leverage over her.
I've got zero leverage over her.
And in case she does get on the council, could have leverage over her, that would be fan-fucking-tastic.
Absolutely. But it's a thing that I can start actually working on. I can research that next round. Because, again, my duel's not going to take a lot of researching skill. So I can definitely work on... But part of me wants to not waste that until we know she is council, because then we can actually...
The question
I think it's less a question of research and more of establishing leverage now while she kind of needs you.
So how can you make the duel establish leverage?
That's something to consider. And the only other player left, well, two players left, is Captain Lacoste herself.
And Mr. House.
And
Mr.
Yes, Miss Yeso, who is more in the shadows, really. But in the meantime, so that's something to consider. In the meantime, I think that with further entrenching of and with eroding the public's trust in Lay Deacon and with learning what Hestra's endgame is, overall it's worthy a medium advance for both of you.
Well, hey!